So that's why some see it as a very sequential process, but most will say you keep doing a lot here initially in the Bahirang side. So you start with some Yam, Niyam, Asan, because there is a synergy in them. As you do asanas, your prana flows improves, your awareness, as you do them with awareness, your pratyahar, your inner perception is getting better, right? With Yam, Niyam, what, for example, the Nidhi Dhyasanam that we started with, right? It's already doing some awareness about ourselves. As we start reflecting, start trying to build those principles in our external and interaction. So, for example, brahmacharya is a very good starting point to start seeing what are we doing with our senses. But it's not all the hour. That's a beginning where we are saying let's not get indulged in our senses. That's what brahmacharya is saying. Don't indulge in them. So it's taking you a little away from the external orientation. So all these are preparatory, and then we get here. That's what the process of dharana, dhyan, samadhi is, and it is a sequential process, at least how it seems like how Patanjali has described it. So that's how all these come together in Ashtanga. And I think the other way to summarize, just taking it back to our system of the table. So, and recapping the whole thing. So what's our whole unit, which we saw was silence. So the samadhi is a state of silence in some ways. That's where this is the whole process of Raj Yoga is taken. In fact, sorry, one more point I missed. A lot of, if you see Hatha Yoga processes are actually here in Bahirang. Most of Hatha Yoga is here. That's why Hatha Yoga is seen as a preparation for Raj Yoga. And key Raj Yoga is here. Right? That's why Patanjali sutras, most of them are here, right? So we have 3, 5, 2. So this is 10 sutras only, all these. And Yam Niyam are another, I think 10 or 12 sutras, right? Out of the 195. So the rest are all about this, saying what happens, what are the different kinds of samadhis, what is that experience like, etc. That's what the Patanjali sutras talk about. And this is where a lot of Hatha Yoga. So specific tools, techniques for these are there in Hatha Yoga and in other contexts. So that's where you will get them. So summary, silence is the subjective experience of Raj Yoga, what we are headed towards. The unit is, we have kept it as thoughts because other things are even hard to comprehend, but it's all our mind stuff. So it's Manomay, Vigyanmay, I think that combination. Some of the laws, I think that we discussed, one was just recapping from last session, was that the modifications happen at 3 levels: our Anna, Pran and Man, or mind, our speech and body. That's how it sort of, action is how it expresses. So knowing that, knowing the link that body follows the mind and mind follows the body as well. So the link is both ways. Prana is the layer that's connecting, right? It's very important to see that as well. So prana goes both ways. Pratyahar, we are trying to reverse it. Default is our mind get affected by what we consume, the body, hence body is our source of consumption. And the mind also, the body, mind also but tells what the body to do. So there is that ability, and it's taking charge is what this is a lot about. The other that came up was that we become the object of meditation. So the purpose of meditation or dharana, dhyan, samadhi is to become one with the object. So knowing that is very important. So the choice of object becomes important in that sense. And it could be whatever we want it to be. And there are different techniques, different meditation techniques accordingly. Some of the tools we looked at, inside out. First up, if you remember, there were 3 which came in chapter 1: Anushasan, Abhyas and Vairagya. I think very critical. It will always be a combination of inside out and outside in that is happening, the process, right? As we do our practices, asana, pranayam, yam, niyam, pratyahar, we have to do them with Anushasan, with Abhyas, do it regularly, and Vairagya. There is no shortcut for this. I think that's the simple process that the Abhyas has to happen. And I think I shared that reading also of how Abhyas and Vairagya have a very close link also, like we discussed also last time. Outside in, there are at least 2, we have discussed one in detail, which is Ashtanga Yoga. Hatha Yoga is a subset. So all of these tools are the outside in tools for us to get to a state of yoga. The key dualities that will come up in this path will be initially a lot around right and wrong, good and bad, particularly from say yam niyam. That's where a lot of that will come from. And the other is stimulation and relaxation, or forceful and effortlessness. I think that's also will happen a lot in this. And if you see, this is like the stimulation, forceful is like rajas energy, and relaxation at the end is taking it to sattva from tamas. So to get out of tamas, we need the stimulation and forcefulness, but then we move to sattva consciously. So conscious relaxation is very important in that process.